Hey gals and pals, this is Doc Martinez from Old Fashioned Ways, and my buddy Vino, we all know he loves a good Amaro, and his favorite one is Cynar. Well, today we did something different. I managed to acquire this bottle. Why does it look like this? It's because it's from the 1970s. Yep, 1970s. So I sent my buddy Vino a sample of this. On today's video, he's actually going to be tasting this sample from the 1970s and comparing it to a Cynar of today. I can't wait to hear his thoughts and what he thinks about them and to compare the differences from the 1970s to now. Is there gonna be a big difference? And you gotta make sure to stick around because he's about to boogie down with some of this. One last thing I like to throw in there, Coach Vino, is I like to challenge you. Challenge you to make a cocktail with this 1970s and the same cocktail with a new updated Cynar and see what you come up with. See if you taste those differences. Are you guys ready? I know I am. Let's go.
All right, folks, so here we have it, literally what the doctor wrote. That's right, my man Doc Martinez of Old Fashioned Ways. If you guys are not subscribed to his channel, go ahead and check it out. I'll put a link down in the description. If you love your subs, whiskey, and you love your old fashions, Doc's the guy for you. Plus, he does a lot of lives. Fun guy. Fun channel, all right, folks? Anyway, so Doc, thanks for the sample. I mean, this is really exciting, guys. You all know that my favorite thing in the world is Amaro, and my favorite Amaro is Cynar. I mean, that stuff is just, it's the nectar of the gods, as they say, you know? And this here is a sample from a 1970 bottle. I mean, this stuff is 56 years old, folks. Think about that, right? This bottle is older than your pal Vino, you know? Thank God something is. Anyway, so, you know, I did some extensive research, and it turns out that the recipe has not changed since that time. So I'm going to go ahead and compare it to a new bottle of Cynar, and any differences between the two should be completely related to the fact that this thing is over a half a century years old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead now and, you know, compare the two next to each other. We're going to give it a little sniffy sniff, a little looky look, and then a tasty taste. And as Doc has requested, I'm going to go ahead and make a cocktail also. I'm going to make my favorite Cynar cocktail, the Little Italy cocktail by Audrey Saunders. And we'll compare the two and see what these bad boys taste like, right, folks? So let's go ahead and start with trying out the sample of the 1970 bottling of Cynar, okay, folks? So I don't know about you guys, very, very excited. Now, there is no guarantee that I'm going to survive this video. And if I don't, at least I died doing what I love. You know what I'm saying? That's making videos for you guys and drinking Cynar, all right? Drinking Amaro. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me just give this a sniff right out the bottle first. Like, you know, when you open up a new thing of coffee, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's go ahead and see what this smells like, all right? So right in the nose, I gotta tell you, it's those Cynar notes. It smells like Amaro, you know? Yeah, you taste all of those. It's definitely a bit richer than the traditional Amaro. Let me not go too crazy, right, folks? I want to compare the two next to each other, okay? All right, so I'm gonna pour a little bit in here because I do want to save some for the cocktail we're gonna make later. All right, and just give it a little sniffy sniff again. So yeah, so right in the nose, a little more ethanol probably than this one is probably gonna smell like. I'm just gonna make that assumption. Let's find out. So I don't wanna make too many assumptions. You know what they say about assumptions, right? It makes an ass out of you and you. That's right, guys. Ain't nobody making an ass out of Vino. All right, let's pour a little bit there, all right. All right, you know what? I cheated a little bit. Let me pour a little bit more of this into there. That way we can get a good sense of the color. All right, there we go. All right, whatever I don't need or don't use, I'll make it the cocktail, right? So on the nose, smells like Amaro. It has a little more ethanol probably than this one does. Again, like I said, but let me just verify that, all right? Yeah, so like I said, whoa, holy smokes, huge difference. Massive difference. This is much brighter, much more floral, a lot less ethanol on the nose. Yeah, you're getting a lot more, you know, you get a lot of cola notes and yeah, a little bit of root beer on the nose here. Very, very different from here. A little vegetal as well. And then on the 1970 expression, you're getting a lot more molasses, caramel notes. Yeah, almost like a stronger licorice component to it as well. So these are actually very, very different on the nose. And I gotta tell you something, most of our taste is dictated by our scent. So I have a strong feeling these are not going to taste very similar to each other, right, folks? But in terms of color, you know, you're not getting too much of a difference. I don't know if you're going to see that or not here, but you're not getting too much of a difference. I mean, this one may be a little bit darker, the 1970 version, but honestly, not too much difference. Actually, what I see is a little more cloudiness maybe with the older bottle, but not too big of a difference. And in terms of the legs, let's see if we're getting a lot of legs here. Let's see. Yeah, you know, like I said, that alcohol smell, the smell of the ethanol, the alcohol, you're definitely getting it here. And you can see the legs here, those little veins you see there. That's the alcohol, okay, folks? Let's go ahead and give the 1970 version a sippy sip, right? Yeah, so that's very different from this. That I can tell you without having to try that, because I know I drink this all the time. This is very, there's a kind of very syrupy molasses taste you're getting here, like a rich syrupy taste going on with a strong note of that alcohol. It's not like off-putting or nothing like that, but it's definitely not what I'm used to when I'm drinking my Cynar. There's an extended kind of like candy-likeness going on here. You know, like if you find like an old candy that your grandma gave you when you were 5, and then you found it when you were 40, and you tried it. That's what I'm getting here. So like, it's still kind of good, but it's not great. You know what I'm saying? But let me try it next to the new bottling. Yeah, I mean the aroma, the bouquet on the new bottling is so beautiful, dude. I mean, this is the best Amaro in the world. It's not even close. It's not even close. I mean, what's happened here is you could tell that a lot of the flavonoids, whatever they call it, a lot of flavor components have broken down over time. It's not bad, but it definitely has lost a bit of its complexity. It's a bit of a one, maybe two-trick pony, or what do they call it? One-note pony, 1-2, I don't know. Anyway, it's one of those things. And then this here, you could definitely taste the bouquet of all of the flavors. And the other thing I'm forgetting, actually, now that I'm sipping this one, not bitter. The bitterness has definitely been subdued in this older version. Or this one here, that bitterness is just all over my palate, you know what I'm saying? But that's fun, man, I gotta tell you. I mean, not considering this thing's over half a century years old, it's not bad, you know? It's just obviously not as good as a new bottle, you know what I'm saying? But let's see how it holds up in the cocktail. Might not be so bad, right, folks? So let's go ahead and make 2 Little Italy cocktails. All right, folks, so there we have it, our 2 Little Italy cocktails. Let's go ahead and give these bad boys a sippy sip, all right? I'm going to start with the one that has the Cynar from 1970, right? Cheers. Cheers to you, Doc. You know, it's funny. Right on the palate, right on that first note, you're getting again some of that kind of like the ethanol taste that you get from this version, which isn't off-putting, like I said. It's not what I expected, and it's definitely not nearly as bitter as the traditional Little Italy cocktail is, all right? So before I go further into this one, let's go ahead and taste the newer version of it, all right? Cheers. That is a completely different cocktail, guys. I gotta tell you, it's so fun to do this. You're getting much bigger notes from the newer version. I mean, you get you're getting floral, you're getting vegetal, you're getting a little bit of chocolate and stuff like that. You know, you're getting a lot more complexity here. Definitely, those bitter notes are definitely more robust in this one. This is the cocktail that I love. I actually still really enjoy this one, but it's a bit of a different cocktail. It really, really is. If I had to say this reminds me of anything, it almost reminds me of like Ramazzotti in a way. It's weird. It's got more of a kind of a cola thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, very, very, very interesting, guys. So anyway, look, I mean, I didn't expect these to taste the same. I mean, we're talking about 56 years. That's over half a century. Nothing tastes the same after that many years. You know, the only thing that gets better is cheese and wine. And my wife. Make sure I said that. Anyway, so really fun samples, really fun comparison. Doc, thanks so much for sending me over that sample, pal. You were the best. Remember, guys, go ahead and check out his channel for some fun whiskey and old fashions. All right, folks? If you liked this video, please press like, please subscribe, and please share with your family and friends. Remember, sharing is caring, and when life gives you lemons, make yourself a cocktail. Cheers.